drug-addicted former nurse is sentenced for a crime that caused unbearable pain to dozens of women. The nurse stole drugs and then replaced them with saline solution.
Connecticut nurse admits that she swapped out anesthesia drugs for salt water, causing excruciating pain to women during infertility treatments.
It happened at a top-rated center of Philadelphia.
I know my outcomes were affected by this. I know what I experienced and went through.
But Yale wasn't going to help me. They didn't think there was harm. They didn't think it was a problem.
The Retrievals tells the story of some events at the Yale Fertility Center. A nurse was stealing fentanyl and replacing it with saline, unbeknownst to healthcare providers and patients. And as a result, patients experienced unexpected severe pain during a surgical procedure called the egg retrieval procedure. So the podcast examines these events and engages with a number of themes: infertility, addiction, justice, and probably most prominently, women's pain and the way that we make sense of it.
It felt like someone was like ripping something from the inside of your body. I remember almost immediately thinking or almost daydreaming in that moment that like the attending nurse had one tube going from my IV into my arm and another tube going from my IV into her pocket. Like it occurred to me almost immediately that the nurse was stealing the fentanyl.
The ripple effects from being ignored or dismissed when you're experiencing pain can go on for months and years for patients who go through that. I think podcasts have built on what radio does, which is to create a sense of intimacy between the listener and the people that they're listening to. It helps draw you into people's interior worlds and emotional experiences so that you can go beyond whatever the tagline might be for what the story's about and really connect with the people who are at the heart of it.
I reported the story differently, knowing that this was the medium I was going to use to tell the story. So, for example, I interviewed a dozen patients because I knew that I was going to intercut that tape to create kind of a choral effect, to document the volume and pattern.
At one point, they did say that I had maxed out. I couldn't have any more fentanyl or Versed. And I was like, how is this possible?
How is that even, like, how am I feeling this?
How do people go through this?
I can feel that. Like, I could feel I don't even know how to describe that. Like, you can just feel them inside of there. You know, as a woman, we've all been through things, you know, with those kind of doctors and stuff. But, like, this is just a pain. It's, like, hard to even explain what it felt like.
It's an enormous honor to win a Peabody. One of the questions in the reporting for this story was this patient pain? Was there even a record of this pain? How had the fertility clinic documented the pain? Had they even documented it? The podcast itself serves as a record of this patient pain. And one thing an award does, the Peabody specifically, is that it ensures that that record won't be lost.